This is Gridiron Gore, where football collides with fear.
Welcome back to Gridiron Gore, where cleats hit the turf and chainsaws hit the fan.
That's right. This is the podcast where football obsessions and horror confessions go hand in glove. I'm Davon, still recovering from seeing Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback Aaron Rodgers at number 33 on that list.
And I'm Paige, your scream queen and fantasy draft sorceress. If jump scares were fantasy points, I'd be undefeated.
And this is Gridiron Gore.
Tonight's episode, it's a scream fest of rankings, reels, and real deal draft dilemmas. We're breaking down Davon's top 10 NFL players, counting down our top 5 horror films of all time, and revealing ESPN's top 10 fantasy players for 2025.
All right, so buckle your chin straps and hide under the covers because these takes are coming in fast and bloodstained.
All right, so before we jump into tonight's episode, this is a big weekend, is it not?
Yes, it is a big weekend.
Opening college football. Week 1.
A lot of good games coming on. A lot of top-ranked teams playing each other early on in the season, which is amazing.
Who are you most looking forward to?
The Texas-Ohio State game, which is at 12 p.m.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps talking about.
It's number 1 ranked team, and I believe number 2. I think Ohio State's 3.
Ohio's 3.
Okay, so 1 and 3. Like it gets no better than that for opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but like
I know who you're looking forward to see.
Who am I looking for?
Newfound glory for the LSU Tigers.
That's going to be a great game. It's 7:30. We're prime time.
Well, you also have to think. I'm not sure if you know this is Lee Corso's last college game day, so I'm not sure where.
Oh my gosh, I was watching. William and I were watching the ESPN special on him yesterday. Tears. Real tears.
Not surprised. Not surprised. That doesn't surprise me at all.
But I didn't realize, so this Saturday is the last...
His last one, yes.
Last Saturday.
I think it's his last Saturday period, yes.
So I have to watch College Game Day and cry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Be you. Be you.
All right, so besides Ohio State and Texas, anything else?
LSU Tigers versus Clemson.
No, I don't need you to list all the games. Just who are you excited to see?
That's another game I'm excited to see. I don't know all the
I'm
games.
thinking on them earlier today.
Because I don't think that's a better matchup than the Ohio State-Texas game.
Well, I think it's not Saturday, but I believe UNC also plays like Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday or something like that. It's like a weird day.
It would either be Sunday or Monday. I think it might just be Sunday. I know some games Sunday, so.
And you're like not hyped to see
Bill Belichick?
Yes, his college.
I don't know how long Bill Belichick gonna last in college. It's a little different there than it is in the NFL, so we'll see how it goes. I already seen that he had a controversial quarterback battle, so.
Oh no, I missed that.
Yeah,
I was caught up on the drama with him and his girlfriend, and her being on emails and needing to be a part of meetings.
That man Bill Belichick went to college and started wilding out early, so different ball game there.
So exciting Friday, really, I guess Friday night, Saturday, Sunday weekend.
Yeah, can't wait. Labor Day weekend, you get that Monday off to recover from the long weekend.
Long weekend of football.
Long weekend of great football, good alcohol, good food. Can't wait.
Got it. All right, let's jump into it.
All right.
So before we head to the dark corners of the theater, we need to talk about something just as controversial as a horror sequel without the original director.
My official top NFL players for 2025. No ties, no apologies, just facts that might hurt your feelings.
Or get you killed in the group chat.
Sorry for cutting you off. So before I get started, I initially made this list based off of my top 10 from last year. So I will alter what we've talked about just a little bit. They will say similar, but it will change a little bit.
Okay, so the names that you gave me earlier in the week, these are not going to be the same names?
There may be two people that have changed.
Okay.
And the order is definitely going to change.
Okay. Interesting. So I entered into this conversation ready to be a defense attorney, and I wanted to pick apart each of your picks and lists. So now you might have messed me up.
I'm sorry.
Could you change
gotta keep you on your toes, defense attorney. You gotta be ready for whatever. Well, although you're kind of made aware beforehand what the prosecutors are going to come with.
All right, so you're going to be that rogue witness that's not following the script.
I'm the one that said, "Yeah, I'm going to testify." Then, yeah, I don't know what they talking about. So I guess I'm going to start in backwards order.
That's what I was going to ask.
So at 10. For the upcoming 2025 year, I am going to put Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
The reason Malik Neighbors is cracking my top 10 for 2025, I believe there's so much upside to Malik Neighbors in a system with the Giants, even if they do have quarterback issues where they need to...
You think they're going to have quarterback issues
I don't
this year?
think so. I think what's going to happen, and especially if it starts out slow, one, Dable might get fired. Two, they're going to switch quarterbacks all within that same time because whoever will be... Again, I'm not wishing anyone to get fired, but if this does occur, whoever the interim is going to make a immediate change so that they can potentially audition for a head coaching job.
So how's that going to play out well for Malik if there's a change in quarterback, which I think everyone's anticipating, so I won't push back too hard on that. But a change in quarterback and a change in coaching, isn't that going to throw off rhythms, throw off chemistry?
The reason I don't think so is because that new interim isn't going to have anything to lose, right? This is only.
I mean, look at the Jets last year, last year.
Well, look who they had at quarterback. That was bound.
That's your quarterback.
A perfect example of an interim head coach that, due that time, earned a head coaching job. Antonio Pierce on the Raiders. Granted, he did head coach for them for I think 2 years, but there was some issues. You had another person that's under that Aaron Rodgers umbrella, Devontae Adams, who caused controversy. So I think in this case, and again, let's just play off of there not being any firing or coaching change. I think the quarterbacks in that room have the skill set to get the ball to their featured player. So he is their number one. He will be their offense. And he had a great rookie year with Daniel Jones throwing him the ball a little bit, Tommy DeVito, whoever else they had at quarterback. So I think it'll only go up on the volume that he's getting. I think he'll be as productive as I think you can go back a few years where CeeDee Lamb had like 150, 160 targets. I think they're going to spam him in that way. That will make him be a top receiver.
He had more targets last year.
So he's going to get even more. So
he
might...
had 170 targets.
Damn.
1,200 yards.
How many catches did he have?
109.
So I can see the catches going up to somewhere around 120-ish if he stays healthy throughout the year.
Can I push back
Yes.
a little? And I don't even think this is really pushing back because I'll take your Malik Neighbors because did I draft him Monday night?
No, you didn't.
Oh, he was definitely on my list.
He was on your list.
But I don't think Dayball's going to get fired. I think they're going to... Listen, hear me out. Jackson Dart has been balling in preseason. And I get preseason is meaningless, but it means everything. Mm-hmm. And so everyone is just anticipating or foregoing that Russ is not going to play the entire season.
Yeah.
So just going off that premise that he's not going to play the entire season, I don't think the Giants have listed QB2 yet, but it would probably be between Dart or Jameis. How well Dart is playing, the Giants have a really tough schedule. So the only reason why I don't think Dart may have his debut as early in the season is because, and I had their schedule up, I've lost it now, but they have a rough, at least I think the first 6 to 7 weeks are rough. But anyway, because of how well Jackson Dart has been playing, him and Joe Shane are already getting pats on the back for finding their future QB and their future franchise player. So I think even if Dart doesn't have an outstanding season, even if they don't make it to the playoffs, which I kind of feel like the Giants may make it to the playoffs because I think their defense is going to help change things around for them. I don't think either of them are going to get fired because I think they found a gem in Dart.
I agree. Like from the shows that we watch, Unsportsmanlike, you can see Christopher Canty, who loves the Manning family.
Let's not even talk about Christopher Canty because all last season he was promoting being awful for Arch, and now because Dart is playing well in preseason, he's chanting "Open your heart to Dart." So let's not reference him at all.
You know how hard it was for him to probably have to switch slogans or get off of the Manning boat. And me watching him in preseason, you can definitely see the flashes and why they kind of drafted him. I saw it when he was at Ole Miss, playing in the SEC against those top teams, where he delivered that on a week-to-week basis. They did take some upsets his senior year or last year, but you can see that he has what it takes to be a starter in NFL. Going to number 9 on my list. I'm going to go.
You don't even do an introduction. You just rushing right through the next player. No build up, no anticipation.
He needs no introduction.
Okay.
I believe his nickname is Sonic. And we're gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not sure how they had him and David Montgomery nickname. I know they were something Sonic related. So I'm gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit Lions. I can see him definitely being one of the top running backs, as he was last year. I think with the new offensive coordinator, I don't think the offense will be as flashy as it was in previous years with Ben Johnson. I think it's going to be a more traditional offense where they're not going to do much trickery. They're going to keep their passes simple. I think they're going to rely much more on the running game and utilizing one of their better athletes on that offense, which is Jahmyr Gibbs.
And I feel like I'm supposed to be tearing apart your picks. Yeah. And you're throwing me off. But didn't he go off in the postseason?
Yes. When
it was wild to watch. It was great to watch.
When David Montgomery got hurt, I think he was hurt for a 3 or 4 week period. Jahmyr Gibbs went crazy during that period. Yeah. He might have. I don't have the stats in front of me for fantasy purposes, but he probably was in the top 4 or 5 running backs within that span because they were spamming him. He has that speed and open space to make someone miss. He has the agility and acceleration to outrun someone to the edge. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, again, they didn't lose much on the offense, but they did lose a massive piece, which is the offensive coordinator, which was able to draw up so much stuff, which kind of took the ball out of his hands in some aspects because you have so much that you want to feed to. But I think with Detroit, I think they'll possibly take a step back this year because of you're having to replace both your offensive coordinator and defense coordinator. Yeah. I think you have to expect them to take a step back, and I think again they're going to be more traditional, kind of take a step back from doing all of the flea flickers, the fucking excuse my language, the plays designed for the old linemen. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs be a top running back for fantasy as well.
Can I read you some stats?
Yes.
So his lowest, I guess his least productive game was against Buffalo. I don't know what week this is, but we're mid-December. He only had 31 yards. After that, he goes against Chicago, 109 yards. How many touchdowns? Only 1 touchdown. San Francisco 117 yards, Minnesota 139 yards, and now we're in the postseason against Washington. Even though they lost, he was the reason why they stayed in the game at Washington. 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then early on in October, he had a game of 116 yards against Minnesota and 127 yards against Tennessee.
What was the most carries that he had in the game last year?
Against the Colts, 21 carries, but only 90 yards.
What time of year was that?
2 touchdowns. This was in November.
So
this is around Thanksgiving.
This was around the time that David Montgomery got hurt as well. So I think with David Montgomery also getting older, that they may not be utilizing him as much. So again, all signs point to Gibbs, in my opinion, being a top 10 player in the 2025 year, as well as fantasy. So if you haven't drafted yet, I am. Try to get him in the first round because he's not going to make it to the second.
Okay, so Jahmyr Gibbs was my first round pick in my first draft on Monday. So I'm not going to say anything negative because I need him to be successful. Yeah, exactly. So for number 8, can you start picking people that I can start having arguments against, please and thank you?
I'm not sure you're going to argue against the number 8. I have Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to argue that he's too low on the list. How about that? But let's go.
Too low meaning he should be
higher up.
Like 1, 2 higher, or not in the top 10?
I'm saying if he should be higher up, that means higher up on the top 10 list.
Okay, so
if I'm saying he's too high, then he should be not in the top 10.
I always just get that phrase wrong. I still don't know what you're saying. I don't know what to do with my hands. But at number 8 on my list, I have Jalen Hurts. He had a really productive year last year on the ground with 14 rushing touchdowns, albeit 11 were push touchdowns. But again, we can't take that away from the stats.
He had more rushing touchdowns in 2023.
He had the same amount.
No, he did not. He had more in 2023.
How much did he have in 2023?
15.
15 to 14 last year.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can't put it all on the tush push. Or we can, but the tush push isn't the difference maker between 20.
I didn't look up the stats for 2023, but I know for 2024, 11 of those 14s were 1-yard touchdowns.
So hold on. Chip Kelly was the coach in 2020?
Chip Kelly? Chip Kelly has been the Eagles coach since
I
a long time.
just remember hating Chip Kelly. So who was in 2020?
Might have been
Doug It wasn't serious. Maybe it was. Anyway, continue talking. I'm
all right, so
really quickly.
Last year he got hurt, so he did miss some time, so that may have impacted his passing. I think this year, with some changes to coordinators as well, he lost Kellen Moore. We'll see how that impacts the offense. Will they pass more? Will they rely more on Saquon? I think they're going to pass more. They have made a lot of acquisitions to the offense in regards to running backs and receivers. So they added in John Mechie from Houston. He was a Alabama tie. So he's reunited, I believe, with Devontae Smith. I think they played together in college. I think he might have also played with Jalen Hurts. But I could be... They might have missed a year or two. I don't know, because I forget Jalen Hurts also transferred to Oklahoma, so that might not time up. But then you also have AJ Brown, who will be requesting targets.
He's going to be doing the ball. So you think they're going to throw more, even though their strongest game is running?
I think their running may take a step back because, one, you have an injury with Landon Dickerson right now, so he's probably out for first. Let's say a few weeks.
I thought they said they're trying to.
They say that, but
it's not going to be.
Cam Jurgen got hurt last year. They didn't rush him back. I don't think you want to rush back one of your best O-linemen to risk future injury. They lost Mekhi Becton in free agency last year, so that's 2 pieces that needs to be replaced, right? You ultimately you're getting one back, but I'm not sure who Becton's replacement is and if he's going to be that good. Lane Johnson, who was a dog last year, he's getting older, so age comes into play.
I'm tired of y'all talking about age. It's offensive.
And you have another back that you brought in, A.J. Dillon from Green Bay. I guess you can say he's replacing Gainwell, but Gainwell was a speedier back, so I don't really know between subbing out Saquon for AJ Brown, does that really give you more options? So I think they'll have to pass more just to be as successful. Again, just my thoughts from change of OC, change in line, aging line. Those are just my thoughts. But I have Jalen Hurts at 8. I think he's going to flip the script this year. I know last year, he had 18 passing touchdowns? I know he was in the teens.
Yes.
He had 18 passing touchdowns, 14 rushing. So what is that, 32 total touchdowns? 18 plus 14, 32 touchdowns. Granted, again, he didn't play a full year, but I think if he plays a full 17 games, let's say 16, because I think the Eagles will have a good record with it.
He only missed 2 games.
He did miss the last week as well. I think they might have.
He played 15 games last year.
15 out of 17.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he
2023 was the only time he played 17 games.
He got injured early in the game that he missed though, like when he got the concussion. So let's say he played.
Stood up.
Let's say he played 14 and a half games. Okay, well, 14 and 1/4 of a game. I think he'll be able to get, let's say, 27. Over 25 passing touchdowns. I'll give him 10 rushing touchdowns. That's what my stats is.
He had 10 rushing touchdowns in 2021, the first year with Nick Sirianni.
10 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just gave him 10.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's going backwards is my point.
It's not. It's listen,
that was the first year that the tush push came about, right? 10 touchdowns. And he goes 13, 15, 14. And now you're going to say he's going to do a drop off. 4.
Because you got to think, I don't know how they're just going to keep getting to this 1 yard line and not get touchdowns prior to it. I just feel like it has to go down. Like, you're telling me each year the amount of times that they're getting stopped at the 1 is just going to keep increasing?
I mean, it's consistently in the mid-teens. It's been consistently in the mid-teens.
I'm going to give him 10. I think he's going to try to pass more and reduce on the rushing touchdown. That's just my thoughts. I'm going to go to the next person now. I'm going to go to the next person. At number 7. And I'm not too sure if I feel confident about this, but I'm going to go Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers had an amazing 2024 rookie debut. They said he broke pretty much every tight end rookie record.
I think so, yeah.
And he might have broken some rookie receiving records throughout all positions. I see no drop-off really happening with the Raiders.
You don't think that there's going to be... I'm not going to call it a drop-off I'm not going to call it regression, but you don't think there's going to be some drop-off when they now have Ashton Genty, who is a strong receiving running back?
But the thing that Genty...
You don't think he's going to eat up some of those targets?
Listen, I think where Genty adds value to Brock Bowers is that he's going to sell the run more, which opens the play-action game for Brock Bowers. So last year they didn't have a running game. So even with them playing more coverage dropping more people in coverage, he still had a great year. So adding Ashton Genty and Geno at quarterback, a more secure, more safer, a better quarterback than what they had. I think this. But
you have a new head coach, and that's a head coach that likes the run game.
Yeah, but he also likes to pass. Russell Wilson had good stats as passing with them still having a great running game.
Because Russell Wilson is a great passer.
Geno is a
I'm not trying to take away from Geno. What I'm saying.
You sound like you are. Go ahead.
I'm breaking was it the fourth wall? No, I'm just saying. Brock had a great year. Mm-hmm. But you now have a stud of a running back, a BYOB running back, bring your own blocker, that had the highest stat and I think was breaking records in college. He was the number 1 receiving running back for multiple years. I think last year he was not, but every year prior he has the most receiving yards as a running back.
And what I'm going to say to that is he did that in the Mountain West. Not to take away from that conference, but...
That sounds like you're taking away from that conference.
Well, so be it. Fuck it. Excuse me. F it. I'm taking away from that conference. Like,
Sound like Aiden.
him having those stats in the Mountain West, I don't think he would put up those same numbers in the SEC. That's just what I'm saying. Because
I hope he proves you wrong.
I mean, I hope he does too. I want everyone to be successful. I'm just saying, like, I can't say that what he did in college, he's just going to easily replicate in NFL. I think he'll have 1,000 yards rushing, maybe like 40 receptions. I don't think they're going to try to abuse him or use him as much as they were in Boise State, because you got to think that volume in the NFL adds up. You play more games in the NFL, so that giving him 20 carries, 25 carries a game, that's not going to be sustainable.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to do that. What I'm saying is, because he can be a dual threat.
Oh, he's
how's that not going to impact Brock?
They have no number one wide receiver right now. Brock Bowers is their number one wide receiver.
Fair.
Their number one wide receiver requested a trade, so he don't even want to be there. So he is their number one wide receiver at tight end. So
I agree.
You either put a small corner on him, which I don't think can guard him, or you put a bigger safety, which I don't think can match up with him with speed and size as well. So I think Brock Bowers is going to break top 10, and he's 7 on my list.
All right. Number 6.
Derrick Henry, King Henry on the Baltimore Ravens. I have him at...
You're wild. In your previous list, Derrick Henry was probably the only one that I didn't have like a real... I couldn't formulate an argument that I believed enough in to say that he shouldn't have been ranked where you had him.
I ranked him last year based off of how he performed last year. This year, another year older, another year wiser. I know you hate me for keep bringing up how...
He literally gets better every year.
He does, until he can't... At some point, he has to regress. Like it has to come, and I think this is the year it comes. I think the Ravens...
Are you saying this because you're a Steelers fan?
No, I don't have a Steeler in my top 10.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I have 2 Ravens in my top 10. Spoiler alert.
He literally gets better.
He does.
And his only bad season was when he broke his foot.
Yes. Listen, King Henry, great running back. He'll be in the top, probably one of the top 10 running backs of all time. Well, I don't know. I got to go through that list. That's a tough list to crack. But I think with the Baltimore Ravens offense, with Lamar Jackson there, with a healthy offense this year, because past years they haven't had a healthy offense. Mark Andrews didn't play most of the beginning of the year because he got in a car accident or a shot or something. I think
Mark Anthony is going to...
Mark Andrews? Mark Anthony, we singing that? We singing?
Clearly, I have music on my mind. Andrews is going to go off this season.
Because you got him?
Yes, but you know why? Why I purchased him?
Why?
Because...
I don't know if purchase was the right choice of words, but go on.
It replays in my mind, so I know it
the drop.
eats at him daily.
Listen.
That drop. He is going to come. He better come out as a...
That's not the first time he had that type of drop either. I want you to know that. He's had that drop before. But how I think of it, it's going to be a lot of mouths to feed on the Ravens. So Isaiah Likely's hurt right now, but when he comes back, he'll get into the rotation of getting touches. Derrick Henry again will be the primary back. They have the speedy back. I think they'll spell him in at times, but when they get inside the 20, it's all King Henry. He has the ability to break the long runs. But
he's
again
a strong man.
He had 1,900 yards last year. I don't know if he's going to get 1,900 again. Just like I don't think Saquon's going to get as many yards as he did last year. I think
he had 16 touchdowns.
1,900 yards rushing. Almost broke 2,000.
Yes, 1,921. He had 325 carries.
That's a lot.
I know.
I know he puts a lot of money into himself in the offseason.
And his carries increase every year. Except
Exactly.
for the year that he broke his foot.
Exactly. So this is the
That's
year.
what I'm saying.
This is the year.
His workload increases. His production increases.
What is he, 31, 32?
I don't know.
250. His joint's gonna start hurting sooner or later.
No, but he puts in a lot of money.
I know he does. I watch his
taking
training videos. I salute him because he be going hard in the gym. He goes hard in the gym.
He's 31.
31.
That young man is 31 years
It's
old.
at running back. Like, other positions can make it past that year, but running back, again, you're carrying the ball 300 times, or he has in the past. You're getting hit at least 300 times a year, at least.
I feel like he
At least.
weighs more than he probably weighs equal to the defensive line, and he's weighing more. He's weighing more than these safeties and cornerbacks.
He's like DN linebacker size, depending on like if you still have traditional linebackers out there.
I'm saying he's
I'm not taking
strong man.
To be number 6. Where is he? Number 6. Number 6 on the list. That's pretty good. Top. You got to think there's quarterbacks that's gonna make this list. You got to think
you had him higher up. That's why I'm just like.
I don't know if I think I did give it to you in the list in order.
You did. All right, moving on.
Number 5.
Halfway there.
Oh, I'm missing someone on this list.
See, you don't even know your own list.
Maybe I shouldn't. I don't think Brock Bowers. We'll get back to it. I'll do an honorable mention that will replace Brock Bowers at 7. Number 6, Derek.
No.
My CTE acted up. I'm sorry. Number 5, Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Saquon.
I'm putting Derrick Henry above Saquon, and I'll explain later. But go on your spiel.
Saquon Barkley, same reasons I'm gonna give him for not having a duplicated year as he did last year. I need the bouncing ball as he did last year. Same things for the offensive line. You lost some pieces on offensive line. You lost your offensive coordinator. I'm not sure what other coaches that they lost, because normally when you win a Super Bowl, those people go everywhere, and it's like where I kind of talked to you about earlier with my conference championship prediction, which we'll talk about probably in another episode, of why I think his stat and his production is going to drop a bit. I also think they may want to take some of that off of him because of his past injury history. So Saquon, I believe, only has played a full season twice. I want to say last year he played a full season outside of the game they benched the starters.
2022?
He played 16 games.
Keep talking.
Yeah, so I think at this point, you've invested money into him. You want to use him to a point where you're winning the games, but not overuse him to where you're trying, like where he's on that verge of breaking the record. Although, again, they didn't play him last game and prevented that from happening. But I think the workload is going to decrease. They also brought in A.J. Dillon, who's also another strong back that I think will take some of those in-between tackle runs so that he's not taking as much contact. So
all the reasons you just listed is why he is below Derrick Henry to me. He's younger than Derrick. He cannot stay healthy in the same way that Derrick can. He's not used to carrying the same workload as Derrick Henry. And I'm saying this as an Eagles fan.
You want to know one thing that I take away from Derrick Henry that Saquon can do? He can catch the ball. Derrick Henry I think averages maybe 20 catches a year, maybe if that. I might be generous on the 20 catches.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know. But I think his ability to catch the ball, run the ball, and also I think his ability to make those bigger plays like we've seen last year. I think he had more explosive plays than Derrick Henry. We've seen Derrick Henry break.
Yeah, but their yards for the year is like not that far apart.
What was the carry comparison though? And I'll talk.
This is why we need an assistant.
I think Derrick Henry might have had more touches to get him to that place.
No, Saquon had more
carries.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
hold on, they're equal. Derrick Henry had 325 carries this last season.
325.
Saquon had 345 for 2,005 yards. That's Saquon. This is significantly the most carries he's had in his career, the most yards he's had in his career, And historically, after he has a heavy season, he gets injured.
Don't wish injury.
I'm not wishing injury, but I'm saying that to say, as an Eagles fan, Derrick Henry should be above Saquon.
I think, again, we got to take...
He had an awesome season. It was amazing. I don't think he can keep that up.
How many touchdowns did Jalen Hurts take away from Saquon? I don't see that happening this year where Saquon...
But, I mean, Jalen Hurts was consistently doing the same thing that he's done since Nick Sirianni and that offensive scheme came to Eagles. When it was Doug Peterson, Jalen Hurts only had 3 rushing touchdowns. Since Nick Sirianni and co. came into Philadelphia, he's had at least 10 rushing touchdowns every season.
Listen.
So I hear the argument that he's taking things away from Saquon, but he's also playing within the same scheme that they've been doing since 2021.
Maybe this is just my Ravens bias. Maybe that's why I got Saquon over him. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, next person, just so we can get through this list. Number 4.
Because I'm arguing.
We're starting with the quarterbacks, Josh Allen. I have Josh Allen on the lower side of my quarterbacks this year.
I think that's fair.
Don't think they have the receiver room, although he technically plays better without a diva receiver. They're probably their most targeted receiver last year. I think he's out a few games is with Khalil Shakur.
Yeah.
But they do have another year with Kean Coleman, so let's see if he new production. Damn, I'm getting tired of words. They brought in Palmer from the Chargers. Don't know how well he's gonna mesh there. Curtis Samuel still had the same tight end room with Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Not sure if he'll be as productive this year as he was on the ground. I think James Cook will take on more role this year, especially after the contract. Got paid. So you expect him to take on more. You expect his backup, Ray Davis, and that running back committee that they utilize a lot and rotate a lot. So I'm just going to put him at 4, Josh Allen, amongst my quarterbacks.
And you still disrespect Jalen Hurts, bro.
How?
His stats aren't that far off from Josh Allen. Y'all don't want to give that man credit.
I'd use the same take I use with...
He's gone to the Super Bowl twice. Josh Allen can't get there.
I know that, but we talking stats.
He has a higher passer rating than Josh Allen.
Last year?
Yes.
He only had 18 passing touchdowns.
His passer rating was 103.7. Josh Allen's was 77 point...
Listen,
something.
Josh Allen did not have not one receiving threat or receiving option on his team crack the NFL's top 100 list. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown both made that list.
Okay, but...
Devontae Smith was a Heisman...
Okay, but look at Cincinnati. Okay. Look at wide receiver 1 and 1B.
I'm not saying...
give Joe...
No, I say the same thing about Joe. In the last episode, I said the same thing. I said excluding them because they have... superstar talent around.
Yeah, okay, but is Joe in your top 10?
Yes.
Okay,
Is Jalen Hurts not in my top 10?
You have Jalen Hurts down at the bottom with other skill position players, and now your top are about to be all quarterbacks. That's wild.
Jalen Hurts
the one quarterback is Patrick Mahomes in your top? Is Patrick Mahomes in your top?
No.
Okay, so the only quarterback that has gone to multiple Super Bowls in your top 10 is not even on the top 5, and it's not even with all the other quarterbacks.
No.
Don't piss me off.
You pissing yourself off. This is my list, okay? Listen, on my other list, he didn't even make the top 10. He was 11.
Even worse.
All right, so let's go to number 3. Lamar Jackson.
The disrespect to Jalen,
Lamar Jackson. He can do it all. He could pass the ball.
You're putting Joe Burrow ahead of Lamar?
Yeah. Joe Burrow was the best quarterback in football last year. Only reason he didn't win MVP is because his team they didn't make the playoff. That's the only reason Joe Burrow didn't.
Joe got sacked more than Lamar.
Terrible offensive line. You can't blame him for that. You cannot blame a sack stat on the quarterback all the time. In his case, not. Caleb Williams, you could blame it on Caleb because he's scrambling, trying to extend play. Joe
has more sacks than Caleb.
Because his line's up, bitch. His line's up. And that's okay. Because they're going to suck again. But you know what he's going to do? You know what he's going to have to do? He's going to have to pass the ball 1,000 times to keep them in games. But we're on Lamar Jackson right now. So Lamar Jackson.
Lamar had a higher passer rating.
Yes.
Than Joseph.
Yes.
Lamar has.
Lamar also
has more touchdowns, I think.
Lamar, no.
No. Their touchdown differential is 2. 43-41. Fuck out of my face.
Oh.
You're pissing me off.
Relax.
You're pissing me off.
Relax. It's okay. We can argue, but relax. Okay. Lamar Jackson had a much better offensive line. He had a much better running back. Only thing he didn't really have is receivers. He used almost the same thing as Josh Allen did with the receiver by committee.
And Joe probably had, and that's so he should be higher.
No.
If your wide receivers are by committee, and you don't have like the Bengals, they're the top wide receiver duo. Maybe Justin and Jordan are equally.
I say Godwin and Mike Evans when they're healthy.
Top 3 wide receiver duo.
Yeah.
So that means it should be easier for Joseph to make passes and to make deep plays than Lamar, Devontae Jackson. I don't know his middle name.
It's a black.
Because I was trying to think of a black name. Because his first and last name is very ethnic.
We gotta speed this up. All right, come on.
You made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
Anyway, he's playing by wide receiver by committee. I think that deserves. People give Joshua all the credit for not having a true wide receiver 1, and so that makes him so great. So Lamar, who has better numbers with a wide receiver by committee, should be above.
I'll say this in the comparison to Lamar and Josh. Kean Coleman was anticipated or expected to be a number 1 wide receiver. Not sure, it took him a while last year to work through the playbook and find his way, but he didn't pan out last year. Lamar Jackson's number 1 or first round pick that they got maybe a year before, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers been balling. Yeah. He's been playing like a number 1 receiver. So maybe let me change my statement because I think Lamar does have a number 1 receiver in Zay Flowers. And then he also has Mark Andrews, who only had 50 catches but had 8 touchdown receptions. So I got Lamar at 3.
Okay.
Number 2, Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I won't get mad. I won't get too mad. I was not anticipating that.
About to go crazy.
I think he is going to go off this season, so I'm not going to hate on him.
He got Mike Evans, a consistent 1,000-yard receiver. He got Chris Godwin when he comes back. But that's fine because they have a very deep wide receiver room. They drafted a Mecca Agbuda. I think I just butchered his last name from Ohio State. A dog. And I'd say he will be a sleeper for some in the draft because he'll be playing number 2 until Chris Godwin comes back, and then Jalen McMillan comes back because he's also another young receiver that they drafted. And one thing Baker's going to do, he's going to sling that thing pause. Yes, so I expect him.
Yeah, fair.
He might give us, if Todd Bowles will allow it, I think Baker could throw for 5,000 yards if he allows it. And I think this year...
He was 450 last year.
And I think this year with the...
Or 4,500.
With the NFC South being
better... They're
going
to win. I still think they're winning.
I think the Falcons, if Michael Penix is who they think he is, I think the Falcons can give him a push.
Or maybe my cousin is going to come back on the field and take
a year removed from injury. I can see that too. We'll see how it goes. But I think Baker's going to turn head. I think he's going to give us a 40-plus touchdown passing year with at least 4,500. But I think he can hit 5,000 if he allows.
I disagree with the position you put him in, but I am cool with him being top 10 because I also think he's going to go off this year.
And number 1.
Obviously, we know who it is.
Joe Burrow.
We've already litigated. And I like Joe, so I hope I don't come off as a Joe hater, but And he does probably have one of the best arms in the league right now.
Listen, Joe Burrow.
They should not be number
They
one.
ain't do nothing to address that defense. He gonna be passing all day, every day.
So this sounds like this should be your fantasy top 10, not
no.
the
My
league
fantasy top
10.
10 is different because it's.
I know, but you're talking about they're not going to win anything. They're not going to win any games of consequence.
They're not winning the game. We said who the best players are. That's what we said. We said
But aren't best players winners? Don't you have to be a winner?
He can only control the offensive side of the game. And what I've seen, what he's been doing to defenses, he's been carving and cooking up defenses on a week-to-week basis. The games he's played, 8.5 out of 10, he was the best player on that field in that game. He outdo Lamar Jackson when they played. Their defense just couldn't stop Lamar Jackson. So if we going to talk about best player, Joe Burrow last year was the best player, and I expect.
Well, to me, this sounds more like he's the best quarterback.
Best player. I think best player.
Okay.
Best player. And I think I'm going to bump out Brock Bowers. We're going to bump down some players. So Jalen Hurts is going to go to 7.
Pissing me off.
He's going to go to 7. I'm going to put Chase in that 8 spot where Jalen Hurts was. I think he isn't going to get as many. He's not going to be the Triple Crown again. He had a great year last year, but when we think about it, a lot of his plays were like really like spectacular things occurred.
Well, he has the most spectacular quarterback carving up defenses.
He does.
So
Who you pick at quarterback?
Huh?
Who you pick at quarterback for fantasy? Come again?
But that's fantasy.
Come again? You know why you picked him? Because you expect him.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's exactly why I picked him for fantasy. Right. But that doesn't mean I think he is the number one player in the league.
She ain't picked Josh Allen. She ain't picked Jalen Hurts.
You know how I feel about.
She didn't even have Jalen Hurts on the board to pick for quarterback. So don't let her pump fake.
Fantasy is different than real life football.
Right. Let's move on.
You've heard our rankings. You've heard my disagreement with Davon's rankings. And you've seen his top 10. But what if we told you horror and football are closer than you think?
This is Horror Mirror, where your favorite scary movies find their gridiron doppelganger.
Tonight we're revealing our top 5 horror films and connecting each one to a player or storyline in today's NFL.
Because sometimes a wide receiver is just a final girl in cleats.
This was kind of hard for me because I watch a lot of horror, and I watch a lot of horror for different reasons, right? And so picking my top 5, really I did a top 6 because I just can't say no. But so this top 6 is because I picked these 6 movies based off the emotional response that the movie gave me, or because of writing and character development, because I'm into writing.
Yes. And music scoring.
Yes. But then as I went back and thought about it, there are movies that didn't even make the list and didn't even make my honorable mentions. When I think about it, I probably watched them the most, i.e. Halloween, H2O. I watched that movie a lot. But I think that's like how Bob's is your comfort show?
Yeah.
I think Jeepers Creepers 2, Halloween. Actually, all of the Halloweens are comfort horror for me. So there are a lot of movies that didn't make the list, but that doesn't mean that I don't like them or I watch them a lot. Because some of the movies on here I have only watched a few times. So coming in at number 6 is Insidious. It's a haunting that's not caused by a house, but it's historical trauma and haunting that follows a dad and his sons over the years. And so the movie explores astral projection, generational trauma, and hidden danger. So in connecting this to the NFL, I'm comparing this to Jordan Love, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. So Insidious reveals that the evil isn't where you thought it was, it's within. And that's Jordan Love's arc. People assumed the Packers would collapse after Rodgers left, but it turns out Love had the power all along. Quietly, he's navigating the further, which is a reference to Insidious, of NFL pressure, darkness, doubt, legacy, and finding his place. there's a creepy feeling that he's about to become something dangerous, and we're just too busy watching the wrong house. And I think that fits Jordan perfectly. And navigating the further, which is like the astral plane that all the ghosts and demons are existing. You think that's fair to say?
I think that's fair to say, yeah.
I think that's Jordan navigating the injuries that he keeps sustaining each season. Finding his, even though I don't think people compare him to Rodgers or Favre, but just like finding his place within the legacy of Green Bay. Because Green Bay gets a quarterback and they stick with that quarterback for years.
Yeah, they're pretty stable with quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think people, fans, or folks on the outside are challenging Jordan in that. And is he really the quarterback of the future and going to be there long term the way that those two and others have in the past? But when Jordan is hot, and we were talking about this earlier today, when Jordan is hot and on, particularly at the end of the season, he's a great quarterback, and he does what needs to be done. I don't think they thought that Green Bay was going to make the playoffs the past couple of years, and they have.
Yeah.
And I think with a more consistent, healthy Love, the Packers are going to be a scary and dangerous team in the NFC North.
I can see that. I don't want to give too much on the football side because this is more of our
Yeah, and I talked a lot about football.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Jordan Love is a really good quarterback. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Wishing a healthy year for him because he's been having some rough starts, and like you kind of mentioned, like hopefully he got his injury out the way early with the thumb on his non-throwing hand. So I want to see how he builds up from start to finish without hopefully having any hiccups.
And then so just to bring in more horror, because I totally just went full football on that. Insidious, that series, you put me onto it. I did not think it was like going to be, I don't know why I was like not interested, but I was not ever really interested in Insidious. And I think because I kept putting it with Sinister, which honestly Sinister is
good too.
Good and terrifying as well. But so anyway, Insidious is freaking terrifying. Like that's a scary movie or a scary series.
The jump scares in that, the end of the first one where you kind of figure out like the pictures, that's like it
doesn't hit me as badly as Conjuring. But Insidious is very scary, and I don't think it gets enough. It doesn't get enough.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so number 5. This movie is the reason why I have a phobia of clowns and mascots in my over 30 years of living today. And that's It. I am not going to include the original It because that's like a 10-hour movie, and they were absolutely ridiculous for doing that. But the new reiteration of It, because it's not a reboot. It's like they are just redoing it all over again.
Yeah.
That movie is scary. That's why I'm afraid of clowns. It's why I'm afraid of mascots. And it's making me think of a team that we have just started watching the, what is it called? Their Netflix series on. And it's the 90s Dallas Cowboys. So just like Pennywise, the Cowboys haunt the NFL, whether they're winning or not. In the early 90s, they were on top of the world, then fell into chaos and mediocrity, and that's where they're living today, only to fake reemerge as contenders in the media every few years. And like It, there's always a spectacle, the circus, the nostalgia, the uniforms. You might think they're dormant, but somehow they're back on your screen again, promising to consume the league. And really, Pennywise in this scenario is Jerry Jones. He is the clown. He is the demon. He is the circus. He is probably all things that's wrong with the Cowboys. And as an Eagles fan, I am not mad that they are living with Pennywise as their owner and GM.
So I can tell you a story about in middle school where there was a conversation that happened in one of my classes, and this girl was afraid of the original movie It, and I'd never seen it at the point, and I never watched it, but I had the movie. I had the movie at home, so I brought the case in, and when I tell you I almost killed this girl by bringing that case in, I was like, yikes! I felt so bad about it.
Yeah, that movie is terrible.
Rebecca Jones, I'm sorry. If you see this, I'm sorry.
Okay, number 4. This is like one of my child core horror films. Just like it's probably one of the reasons why I'm afraid of the dark. And being in a bathroom without the lights on, and that's Candyman. But not just any Candyman. We're talking about Candyman 2, which is the best one in all the series. Because, yes, they're in NOLA. After that, the third one, they're in Mexico City. It went off the rails. Yeah. And then the remake wasn't it. So Candyman 2, the best. One of my favorite and top scary movies. And I am comparing that to your boy, Justin Fields. So Candyman represents a legacy misunderstood and feared, a figure haunted by the past and powerful in the present. That's my boy, Justin. He's coming from a chaotic bear stint, just like Candyman's origin story back in Chicago, and now finding a new voice in with the Jets. He showed flashes of what he could potentially be in Pittsburgh, and then you guys kicked him to the side, just like they did the projects in Chicago. The narrative around him has shaped the failure to potential resurrection. He's got the scars and powers, and he's finally gets unleashed. People might regret saying his name in vain.
Listen, I know we mishandled Justin Fields, but
boy, did you!
It's really Arthur Smith, and I can't say how much I dislike this guy as the Steelers.
Yeah, but Mike has to take, and Omar have to take ownership for letting him walk out the door.
Yeah, but you have to think this could be Omar, the GM. They praise Arthur Smith so much, and if the quarterback doesn't fit the offensive coordinator schemes, especially on a cheap deal that he was, they're going to look for someone that fits it versus changing their schema. Because Arthur Smith is just so that his scheme works when he only really had one good year and he had that because he had Derrick Henry as his running back. Like, he hasn't really been successful anywhere else, and I don't understand the lore with Arthur Smith as a play caller. That's a good pick though. I also like Candyman too. I think that one was the scariest of the mix as well.
For sure. Can I just, sorry to interrupt you, I just want to say that my older cousins, shout out to Rainey, Crystal, the gang, but I was really up under the girls more than the boys. But it would be back in the day, we would, in the summertime, we'd go to the pool that was like down the street from Crystal and Ty's house and Valerie and Uncle Ty's house. Mm-hmm. And then we'd come back, shower. They had an outdoor shower, which we thought it was the coolest thing ever, so taking a shower outside. Anyway, after all that, we would sometimes watch movies, and they would put on, I'm 5 and 6 years younger than them, and they would put on Candyman, but I wanted to be grown and cool with other kids, and I would sit and watch Candyman at a very inappropriately young age, and terrified.
All right, what you got next?
All right, so number 3. I'm wearing it today. It's one of my most favorite horror films because it's so freaking smart. And you know I love a smartly written movie. And that's Scream. And I'm going to throw in the reboot because they did it right. They are probably one of the only horror film franchises that know how to do it right, and they did it excellent. So my comparison, and I freaking love this comparison so much, is the Detroit Lions, but the Dan Campbell Detroit Lions era. So like Scream, the Lions are having a moment, reviving something old, 90s vibes, with modern flair. The reboot bought in fresh faces but stayed loyal to the formula, and they didn't do it in a cheesy way. I just so appreciate how they connected the original story. Just like Dan Campbell's Lions blend throwback toughness with new school swagger. They're not just good, they know why they're good and play into it. Plus, like Ghostface, they're coming for you, but they'll smile while doing it. You know the rules, and they still get you. And that's been the Lions. And I just thought of it. The Lions are also like Ghostface and like Scream, because even though Ghostface is a scary killer, and just like the Lions are a scary team to go up against in the NFC, they can't make it to the championship game. They can't make it to the Super Bowl. And just like Ghostface, he's going to kill a lot of people along the way, but he could never get Cindy.
Listen, Scream, I'm trying to think, was the first one was definitely a fresh take on horror movie, especially
it changed the game.
It changed the game for sure. It birthed scary movie and all those particular spoofs on horror movies for sure. And I think just the way that the originals were written, and like you mentioned, how the later ones after the reboot, after the TV series, although TV series I don't really think ties into the movies. All of it has been good.
It doesn't, but the TV series
all of the
are great.
everything related to Scream has been like perfect in cinema world. So I understand why that's in your top 5.
Right.
6.
Number 2. This movie is insane, and it's better than all the ones that have come after. Well, the 2 that have come after it. A 4th one is coming. I am going to buy tickets to the movie theater and watch it, even though the 3rd one thoroughly pissed me off. And I know I'm a person that likes quality writing, character development, and all of those things. But Terrifier. If you have not watched that movie and you like gore, horror, slasher, you have got to watch Terrifier. It is low budget. Terrifier 2 is low budget. Terrifier 3 is like moderately budget. And usually the low budget films, horror films, sometimes give they give very backyard, very basement, very these people actually try to kill someone in real life and bury the body. That's actually a real case in true crime. We could talk about it later. But Terrifier is just absolutely insane. There's no rhyme or reason or method to, I guess his name is Terrifier, right? To Artie the clown.
Know your characters.
That's how scary I get.
Come on,
that's how scary it is. He has no.
She's a phony.
Do not piss me off. He does not have a rhyme or reason, and that's what makes him so freaking terrifying. And so at first, I was comparing him to Micah Parsons, but the Cowboys don't need any more airtime than they already have.
We say that like once a week.
Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna open it up to all of like pass rushers. The position of a pass rusher to me is like one of my favorite positions in the league, and I like it because it's just so gritty and violent and just chaotic. And that's what Artie the Clown is. Like,
listen.
It's pure violence with zero explanation, and that's a pass rusher. Love it.
Listen, you thought you've seen gory movies before. If you've never seen The Terrifier, good luck. And I hope you enjoy it, but he be wildin'.
He does. And
don't discriminate on who he go after. Anyone can get it.
Did you see the first one? Because I watched that one by myself.
Or the first Terrifier.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the first Terrifier, yeah.
So, first of all, the amount of gore that you see, you can't see that in the movie theaters because that's not going to be allowed. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know why I decided to watch that by myself at night alone. And I had to put on Peppa Pig to go to sleep that night because that movie is genuinely that horrifying. Okay.
Number 1.
I think it's pretty obvious because I talk about this franchise a lot when I speak of horror, but it's The Conjuring. But not just anyone, The Conjuring 2. This is the best Conjuring in all of, excluding like The Nun 2, Annabelle. In just the straight Conjurings, this is the best one. When I tell you I was terrified in that movie theater watching that, when I tell you I was crying real tears when we were getting to the trauma of some of the kids in that movie, I was crying. There are scenes where we're laughing. It gave all of the emotion, all of the writing, all of the character development, all of the plot development. It's everything that you love in a movie. And it gets no better than Conjuring 2. And what is this one called? It's not The Devil Made You Do It. That's the one that came out during COVID. Whatever. Last Rites. Last Rites just better. It just better deliver. And so it pains me to make this comparison, but I have to compare The Conjuring 2 to the New England Patriots during the Brady Belichick era. Ooh. Like Ed and Lorraine, the Patriots operate with discipline, conviction, and cold-blooded precision. Conjuring 2 didn't need flash. It had atmosphere, legacy, and elite execution, much like how New England won games. Every possession felt like a seance, inevitable, suffocating, and spiritually draining for opponents. They were the team that always knew something you didn't, including Deflategate. And that's exactly how the Warrens function. And so that's my number 1. Thoughts?
So, Conjuring as a universe, amazing. What is like? I think we said it's. I don't want to say number. I think it's 9 or 10, but I get lost because there's so many Conjuring. But Conjuring 2, you're right. I believe I seen the first one. I was like, all right, I like it, but The Conjuring 2 warps you in, and I think that's probably out of that universe, that's the one that I've rewatched the most, and that's kind of crazy that you have someone that rewatches a particular horror movie multiple times. That's not, you don't really hear that, but yeah, Conjuring 2, great film, great comparison to the New England.
Honestly, horror and football come down to one thing: survival. And if you don't know who the killer is, it might be your own draft board.
All right, we've hit the part of the episode where real horror lives. Fantasy football season.
The ESPN dropped their top 20 rankings for 2025. We're only going to discuss the 10. And let me tell you, it's a curse scrolled of surprises, monsters, and misdirections.
Ooh.
All right, so this is ESPN's top fantasy players. I'm pretty much coming from Mike Clay. Mike Clay is a part of the Fantasy Focus podcast. He is a big analytics guy. So this top 10 is really based off all of the scientific numbers, algorithms that Mike Clay develops in picking his top. So I'm just going to run down the list from 1 to 10. Okay. And then we'll just chat.
Can I run down the list? Because there's... All right. So we'll start from 10 going down. So we have...
10 going down or 10 going up?
10 going to 1. I get confused about which way is up, which way is down. At number 10, Amon-Ra St. Brown. At number 9, Malik Neighbors. Number 8, Puka Nacua. Number 7, Christian McCaffrey. Number 6, CeeDee Lamb. Number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 4, Saquon Barkley. 3, Justin Jefferson. 2, Bijan Robinson. 1, Jamar Chase. So from that list, what do you think of that top 10? I got issues with it off the rip.
So I looked at this in multiple different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I see why Mike Clay did this. Jamar is coming off as the Triple Crown winner.
Yep.
He's wide receiver one. The Bengals, he's playing with a quarterback that is going to be throwing the ball a lot because they have a bad defense. So I think it's logical that consistently a top producing wide receiver one is going to be that again. So I get it. Also, Jamar in every mock draft and actual draft that we've done, Jamar is going off the board as first pick of the draft. So I see it. I mean, the concern is injury. I'm not wishing injury on anyone. So barring any injury, I don't see why he's not going to produce the same way. Him and his quarterback have a long history together. Their dads are like in a bromance. So I don't see a reason why Joe is gonna not spam Jamar whenever he can.
I mean, I agree to an extent for this top 10. So obviously, we need to mention that these are not including quarterbacks. These are just skilled positions. So I think, again, it's hard to replicate that Triple Crown. I know he's going to get fed a bunch of targets, but I think defenses are going to be playing him much tougher. I know, at least for our division, AFC North, every team has enhanced their cornerback room, right? So Steelers, we have added Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey. The Ravens have added Jair Alexander, who was a top 10 cornerback last year. The Browns have Denzel Ward, who will still be following him. So I think just with that, and again, I'm not sure with the rest of the schedule, but I think teams are going to be paying more attention. Although they were paying attention to him last year, I'm not going to say that they weren't trying to game plan around him, but I think this year they're going to be making sure that they're not getting beat by Jamar Chase. And
so my question for you, who in his
one?
top 10 do you have an issue with?
Justin Jefferson, at least at number
Why
3.
do y'all keep hating on Justin?
I'm not hating on Justin. I'm hating on the quarterback. I'm hating on J.J. McCarthy.
Has he been named QB1 yet?
Yes. They don't have anyone else.
No, they just picked up, how am I blanking on that man's name?
That man is not there to be the starter. He is not there to be the starter. JJ is their guy. And I know Kevin O'Connell, quarterback whisperer, whatever, guru. I don't see Jay.
So where do you put Justin?
I don't put Justin before Malik Neighbors. I don't put him before Puka.
So you don't have him in the top 10?
He in the top 10, but he more towards 8, 9.
So you're saying he's better than Amon-Ra?
Yes. I think he...
And every other wide receiver on this list is going to be better than him?
Yes. All those other receivers have quarterbacks that we know can throw the ball. We know going to feed them with multiple targets. I know JJ is going to try to feed him with a bunch of targets.
He's going to be his number one target.
But he can't. I don't think he can throw. That's the thing. I don't think he can throw. I was never sold on him being a first round draft pick out of Michigan where he only threw it to a handful of times. That's just me. I think other players on the Vikings can possibly be useful if he gets them the ball, but I don't know if he'll be able to get Justin those passes in those tight windows, like how Sam could and how Kirk could.
Okay. I'm going to read you Mike Clay's top 10 quarterbacks because you made a mention that this list was not including quarterbacks. So do you want me to go from top to bottom? Do you want me to go from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
10 to 1, please.
Okay. So starting off at the bottom, Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray at number 9, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield at 7, Patrick Mahomes at 6, Joseph at 5, Jalen at 4, Jaden at 3, Joshua 2, Lamar 1.
Well, clearly his rankings are based on the value that they add at running the ball. I'm not putting...
But then wouldn't Jalen be higher?
He's at, what, 3?
No, he's 4. Jaden, he put at 3.
Jaden's 3.
Jaden Daniels is number 3. Jalen Hurts is number 4.
I probably would flip those, but I think why he may have Jaden at 3 is because I think Jaden's a more dangerous runner and can possibly break longer runs for a touchdown versus
Fair.
Jalen's power. I think Jalen Hurts is more of like a power quarterback runner. I'm surprised that Dak Prescott is in the top 10.
Dak is 11.
11 over. So it's Purdy, Kyler. I don't know if I'm putting Kyler in the top 10. I don't think I can do that right now.
I think with them shorts he was wearing on Welcome Back Weekend, he
showing
doesn't deserve to be in the top 10.
He was showing everything out there. I mean, I think that's a solid position because.
Did you see how Jalen is top 5 and not number 7 or 8?
If you asked him to do his top 20 people, he won't be there. Because if you think he's top, what number was he at quarterback?
4.
He was 4 at quarterback. So when you bring in skilled players,
well, this is different though. This isn't his ranking at best players. This is just who's gonna be best in fantasy.
Yeah, I did not have him in my top 5.
You didn't have him in your top 5.
I didn't do a top.
You didn't have him. You are just part of the band that disrespects Jalen Hurts. But continue.
No.
Continue.
Listen, you and Will gonna stop saying I'm a Jalen Hurts hater. I just see both sides of the picture coming from somebody that used to play football. I support Jalen Hurts.
I don't know.
Just give Saquon his rightful touchdowns and let him get some of those 1-yard rushes. If all else fails, you can go for on 3rd and 4th down with him if it's that damn unstoppable. That's all I'm saying. That really was the only issue I had. I talked about Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's gonna.
Do you think Christian is too low?
Nah. Someone
at number 7.
For someone, you saying low meaning.
Should he be closer to number 1
is
or
it
further?
Pam or Pam? I think he is right where he needs to be. He could possibly go even towards 10.
Yeah.
But listen, someone coming off of having Achilles tendonitis in both his Achilles.
He went over to Sweden and got.
We don't know how that
stem cells.
We don't know how them stem cells are gonna hold when real contact is happening in the game. You getting hit where you're not expecting it. That's what I'm saying. Achilles tendonitis in both Achilles. I get it one, but both. I don't know.
He's a workhorse.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Any final thoughts? On the top 10 quarterback or skilled position players?
No, I think I pretty much agree with this. I'd say I'm in agreement. I can't think off top. I don't think Ashton Genty is going to be there within the top skilled with points.
Y'all are haters.
I don't think.
He's going early though.
He is
like
going
everyone
early.
is anticipating and expecting him to.
We don't know how exactly he's going to pan out.
You are a hater.
There's always one rookie running back that does finish like in the top 5 in fantasy for running backs. I don't know if it's him.
I'm recording. I gotta save every take that you've made about Ashton Genty, so we can come back a year from now. And
he's playing in a tough division too. That's a defensive heavy division. They were beating him up.
Maybe he's gonna beat them up.
At 5'9", I don't know. Listen,
short guys are strong too.
All I'm saying, this ain't Nevada he's playing. This is Kansas City Chiefs. They got a series called the Dynasty, the Kingdom, whatever it's called. This ain't Nevada. This ain't the Mountain West team. That's all I'm saying. No shade to Mountain West, but that ain't this and this ain't that.
Ashton, I'm rooting for you, bud. I am here for you. Team you. All right. Fantasy's like any good slasher. You got the stars, the hopefuls, the haters, and the guy you drafted who dies 5 minutes in.
Draft wisely, or you'll end up on the waiver wire with the rest of the ghosts.
And that brings us to the end of the top 100 terrors, even though we didn't do a top 100 anything. Ranking horror classics and fantasy predictions that might just come back to haunt you.
Whether it's top 100 snubs or top 5 fears, this week was stacked like a horror movie cast with a few names we know won't survive till then.
If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Drop us a rating, share with your league mates, and follow us for more pigskins and panic.
Until then, lock in your keepers and keep one eye on the shadows.
This has been Gridiron Gore.